I am a man of honor, integrity, and promise. I pursue all righteousness. I love my family. I will not put my family in harm's way. There is nothing that will keep me from doing the right thing. I am an ambassador of hope and a man of discipline. I am a man worth following. I am a TYRO.
Welcome to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Cathy.
And I'm Cathy Tiarina.
And today we want to talk about celebrations.
For those of you that don't know who we are and don't know our story, Ron did 15 years in prison and left me and our two small sons at home. And we navigated through that prison experience to come out stronger and healthier. And now we get to go back and help other families become strong and healthy and successful. So we know where you are, we know what you're going through, and we believe we can help you.
And we know firsthand what it takes to celebrate life no matter where you're at.
That's right. So today as we talk about celebration, many of you may be thinking, what do I have to celebrate? I'm in prison or my family member's in prison and life is dark and seems hopeless. And that's exactly what we want to talk to you about. Because the longer that you live in that void and create that void, the more difficult it is to overcome that and dig yourself out of that pit.
You know, just recently I was in a penitentiary and I came across a person who's been incarcerated for quite some time, and there was no joy or no life in his face or his eyes. And I asked him, I said, man, what's going on, man? How are you? He said, well, you know, I'm living, man. I said, really? You're living? And he said, yeah, you know, I'm in prison. He said, but you know, it's just, it is what it is. And that's the saying you hear a lot from guys. It is what it is. I said, but you know what? It doesn't have to be that way. Right. And so I asked him, I said, so what are you doing to celebrate life? And he looked at me like I was crazy. He said, what do you mean celebrate life? Man, I'm in prison. I said, are you kidding me? You're in the best place you can be to come to really appreciate life and its fullness thereof, because you get to celebrate another day of getting to reinvent yourself, getting to help your family become greater, and all these type of things that go into celebrating life.
So when we think about celebration, we often think about holidays or birthdays. But we really want to talk to you about just celebrating the fact that you're still alive, you still have the opportunity to give back and to pour into the people's lives around you. That includes people you see every day inside the institution, as well as the kids that are in your life, the children and families. And so today we want to help you recognize the places in your life where there's death. And when we mean death, we mean like you're living in the void, put your life on pause, thinking you're just going to pause your way through your time in the prison. And then when you come back out, that's when life's going to start up again. Because that's not how it works. You
know, I met a lot of men when I was incarcerated in the state of mind. In this state of mind, it's called, I wish I shoulda, coulda, woulda.
And you don't want to shoulda on yourself.
Not at all. I tell you, that's crazy. And so when you find yourself in that place where you're in a state of regret, you can't celebrate. You can't even celebrate waking up in the morning. And now, you guys, you know what I'm talking about. When you find out for breakfast they're going to give you Fruit Loops. I tell you, that was a day of celebration.
Fruit Loops?
Fruit Loops. I mean, just those little things. And you hope that you know, if your unit is the last one for chow, and you know by the time you get there, you may not get that bowl of Fruit Loops, right? Because it's been months. It might have been a year since you've ever even saw a bowl of Fruit Loops. And so when you get that bowl of Fruit Loops and you sit there, you celebrate and you savor every bite, every spoonful, and you're excited about that bowl of Fruit Loops. I mean, look what we are, dads. Look where we are, men. Bowl of Fruit Loops gets us to a place of celebration. But we want to help you take that experience that you get to have for that moment and live it every day, even if you're behind walls.
The darkness or the void that you experience, it creates a poison that infects your entire environment. So, and I know you know when you walk into a room and there's that tension or that emptiness, and so you can be sucked into that vortex, or you really have to fight really hard to not let that suck and pull the life out of you. And so the question we're going to ask you today is, are you that vortex? Are you that thing in people's lives that's sucking the life out of their lives because you've created a void, because you have lost all joy, and you are not finding things in your life right now that you can celebrate and enjoy and build upon so that you're building a strong future as you walk out the gates? And most of you are going to experience that walk out the gates in your life.
You know, honey, what's that saying? Misery what?
Loves company.
And boy, I tell you, that's so true in the world of prison.
You know, that reminds me of a story early on when you first went to prison and how miserable we were, and we were just like not embracing any joy or hope because we wanted to put our lives on pause until you got home. And we quickly realized that we couldn't do that. One time we were at a visit, and as we got home from the visit, our son Brandon, who was only 3 or 4 years old, he came home from the visit, ran and got a blanket, wrapped it around himself, curled up on Ron's favorite chair, and he's just talking and laughing. And I walk and I'm watching him. I was like, Brandon, Paul, what are you doing? And so he looks up at me and he says, Mommy, I'm pretending that Daddy's home, and I'm sitting on Daddy's lap, and we're talking, and we're having so much fun that we don't have time to be angry or mad anymore. And it just like struck me. Oh my gosh. We are so busy being angry and mad, we don't have time to celebrate.
So it set you free.
Yeah, it set me free.
I tell you, we live in a state where that's how, you know, when we say that misery loves company, we throw around that cliche like it's nothing. But I tell you, when you live in that state, everybody around you, either they're going to cling to it because misery loves company, or they're going to run from you. And we want people to run to you because you're celebrating life. And so in this next segment, we're going to talk to you about remedies and some cures that can help, because you got to become the antidote. You got to be something that people want to be around. And you can become contagious with this thing called celebration.
TYRO Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You will begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you are not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than many families can survive. TYRO Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Cathy Tirina's own personal experience with incarceration. TYRO Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions, to own it. You will be prepared to overcome the obstacles of your incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of TYRO, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You'll be one of the honored, a man worth following.
If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO or just want to know more, contact your local Ridge Project facilitator or your caseworker.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. Today we're talking about celebrating life and the things in life that really kind of get in the way of that celebration of your life.
You know, to become a change agent, and that's a key phrase that we hope that you adapt, part of your vocabulary, a change agent, changing for the better. There's a Japanese word called kaizen.
What is it?
Kaizen.
What is it?
Kaizen.
Kaizen.
And it's a powerful word, and it's something that we've adapted in our lives. And it means to change for the better. You know, one of the things that we love to do is to better our best. And to becoming a change agent and to celebrate life, you got to better your best. You got to be able to take life by the horns, right? And grab it, and, you know, somebody gives you lemons, make lemonade. You've heard that.
It takes a lot of effort to go from a place of despair, a place of darkness, a place of pause, a place of void, to say, you know what, I'm going to do something different. Yeah. I'm not going to be infected by my environment. I'm going to affect my environment. And so in this section, we really want to tell you, give you some practical tips on how you can really affect your environment and change not just yourself, but those around you.
You know, I want to stop before we go into that, and I want to say something to you guys out there. I know there's a lot of people out there right now saying that we don't have no understanding what you're going through. You know, we never, you look at Cathy. She doesn't know what it means to be on food stamps. She doesn't know what it's like to live in the hood or the projects. Look at Ron. He doesn't know what it's like raising up kids in the projects. You know what? We do know what it's like to be poor. We do know what it's like to live on food stamps or live check by check. We do know what it's like to be in prison and go through the prison visiting room and go through the gates. We know because we've been there.
And we know what it's like to be miserable in that place. But we also know what it's like to begin to celebrate even in the midst of the battle. And so that's what you have to do. You have to deliberately decide, I know I'm in a difficult place, but I'm still going to celebrate every moment of my life, because you know what? You are never going to get those moments back.
You know, pressure is powerful. pressure. I heard somebody talk about some Navy SEALs and what they go through to be prepared. These type of guys are going to go through some sort of boot camp that is unimaginable, right? When we go through prison, and that's a boot camp. Don't get me wrong, but these Navy SEALs, they got to go through something that's going to make them better and prepare them for what's coming. So when it happens to them, they're not in shock because they're ready for it. And dads, that's what celebration means. You're going through a type of boot camp to prepare you to celebrate life when you go through it, because you live to tell about it, but you can't run from it. Okay, you're in prison. Okay, you made a mistake. Quit running from the experience, because celebrating life is just that. It's about an experience where not only you can have a good experience, or you can have a bad one, but it's what you do with it despite what happens.
So the first thing you have to do, dads, is change your attitude.
Change your attitude.
Because if your attitude is, oh, poor me, oh, what a difficult situation, I have no control over it, and so I'm stuck here, then that's where you're going to stay stuck. But if you can change your attitude and say, okay, I don't like it that I'm here, it's not comfortable, but what can I do here to become a better person right now, today? And begin to say, okay, change my attitude. I have the opportunity of a lifetime. Everything else has stopped around me, and I get to just rebuild and redefine me.
We work with men out here also on the streets who are on parole. And one of the things we teach guys, and they get it, because they get to celebrate that certificate of release. They get to go to that PO and the parole officer, and he gives them the certificate of release. They understand now that's a new milestone. It's not a burden to do 2 years on paper. It's an opportunity to take the challenge and to grow and to show somebody, you know what, I can do 2 years on paper without violating this trust, and I can grow from it and become a better man. And when you give me my certificate of release, I will celebrate that by taking a picture with you, handing it to me. And that's what the Tyros do out here. They celebrate that newness of freedom.
That's right, because they've set goals that they're able to accomplish. And so the first thing is changing your attitude. The second thing that you need to do if you really want to begin to celebrate is you need to set some goals for yourself. And those have to be small goals to start out with, like goal number 1. I'm not going to complain at all today. At the end of that day, you'd be like, wow, I didn't complain. Reward yourself. Have a celebration, whether that's you're going to stay up 10 minutes later and read another chapter of your book. You're going to eat a little Debbie. You're going to write
Eat a little Debbie.
Eat a little Debbie.
Eat a little Debbie.
Whatever it is, reward yourself and have a celebration when you've achieved that milestone. And because then what it does is it shifts your behavior, because practice makes what?
Permanent.
Practice makes permanent.
And as you celebrate your accomplishments and the goals that you meet, and you partner yourself with men of like-mindedness. I tell people all the time, just because you're my color doesn't make you my kind, right? Because if you don't think like me and you're thinking left-handed path and you're still on that path of destruction, you can't kick it with us. You can't come and hang with me. I want to surround myself with people who are successful and celebrating one another. So if you can start celebrating those around you, giving each other high fives, when somebody wins the chess tournament, when somebody gets their GED, when somebody's going home, man, celebrate those victories, man. Yeah. When they accomplish AA and they've been sober for 10 years and they're locked up in the penitentiary and they're not drinking hooch, man, celebrate with that guy instead of hating on him because he was able to overcome.
That is exactly the third one, investing in other people in a positive way. So you got to change your attitude. Then you got to start changing your behavior by setting goals and reaching them. And the third one is investing in other people in positive ways. And those things are going to change your life because you're going to begin to celebrate life and recognize you're not dead just because you're in prison.
Remember, guys, if you're not celebrating somebody else, don't get mad if nobody's celebrating you, because what comes around goes around.
Playing catch, basketball, laughing, and enjoying each other's company. These are all normal things on the outside, but many times are missed in a visitation setting. TYRO Dads brings the same fun experience to the inside through Family Days. As a TYRO Dad, you have the opportunity to participate in this fantastic event. Family Day is designed to allow fathers and families to engage with each other through activities designed to stimulate communication, learning, and play. Family Days will not only be a highlight for you, but for your children as well. The Ridge Project has strategically developed Family Day as an opportunity to help you connect with your child throughout your separation and help both of you develop skills to continue building your relationship when you return home.
If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO or just want to know more, contact your local Ridge Project facilitator or your caseworker.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Cathy Tiarina.
And I'm Ron Tiarina.
And today we're talking about celebrating life. And so we talked about how difficult it is when you're in prison, that void that fills you, that you just want to put your life on pause. We also talked about practical tips on how you can overcome that and get to a place of celebration by changing your attitude, setting small goals and celebrating those things, and investing in other people. And now we want to talk about how you learning to celebrate life is really going to impact your family and your children.
Dads, I want to talk to you specifically about your kids, man. This is crucial. Remember that moment, dads, when you were a little boy and Christmas was around the corner and you started to think about that gift that you wanted? You know, maybe, I don't know what it was, but you wanted something special. Every little boy wants something special. And so you do hints to mom or to dad or to uncle or aunt, whoever it is in your life, you're dropping those hints of something that you want. Well, I'm going to tell you something. Your children, they're not dropping hints, man. They're going straight to that mailbox and they're believing, well, this day I'm going to get a letter from my dad. They're believing this day my dad sent me a card. They're believing today is Christmas when I'm going to get a gift from my dad. You want to celebrate your family? You do whatever it takes to shoot them a letter, to shoot them a card. If you can't do a card, Dad, then you get somebody to do a card. That means don't go buy a box of Debbie's for yourself. Buy a box of Debbie's for the guy who does the cards real well, and you have him do it, and then you save your money, and you buy that envelope, and you mail it to your sons or your daughter. I'm telling you, the light on their face when they see that gift from you, Dad, that comes in the mail, is Christmas, man. It's Christmas for them every time they go to their mailbox and Dad got a letter. I know they ain't writing you back. I know it's hard for them to hold you and hug you, but guess what? For real, they're taking it and they're celebrating and they're holding it dear to their heart, man. But they're counting on you, Dad, to show them, you know what, despite me being in prison, son or daughter, and you call them by name. In my case, despite me being in prison, Blake and Brandon, I love you enough to sacrifice this box of Debbie's, to sacrifice this food box. I'm going to send you something. I'm going to save my money and I'm going to order something online. You know what I'm talking about, the catalogs that you can get from the library or whatever. And I would try my best to save my money and order something and get it sent home to them. Dads, there's so many things you can do to show that you're celebrating your sons and daughter. And I say this with passion and I mean it. You want somebody to celebrate your kids? Then you better be celebrating somebody else's, because don't get mad. If you're not celebrating somebody else's and nobody's celebrating yours, you can't get mad, because I'm telling you, what comes around goes around.
You know, your opportunities inside when Ron talks about sending letters or making cards or sticking a little something in a gift, that's a huge opportunity for you to pour into your children's lives and help them celebrate even in the midst of it. But another way to do it is on visits. If you have the opportunity, if you get the gift of time with your children,
that's crucial.
That is a gift and that is a time to celebrate. You are together. That's enough of a celebration. That you're all in the same room together. You can eat together. You should be laughing and playing. We've seen so many dads say, shh, stop laughing so loud. You're drawing attention to us. Because that laughter that's really music has turned to noise when Dad has fallen into the void of life instead of the celebration of life. You know, and so we want to encourage you to make sure that you're making opportunity to laugh, to cement the love.
You know, we worked with dads, you know, they go in, and I'm, you know, when I was on a visit, you know, as I was in my own evolution of becoming a man of honor, you know I would go out to the visits, and guess who it was about? It's about me. You know, I would call home and I would tell Kathy, get here as soon as you can, because, you know, I want that hamburger in the vending machine and you got to get there before anybody else gets. You know, that's me being selfish, and I recognize that. And so we got to get past that, Dad. So when we go on a visit, we can, you know, your mom might just come to the visiting room and she's only got $10 in that visit. And Kathy would come there and she would say, I already fed the kids. I already fed them. And so this $10 is for you. And I would have to say no. And as much as I would say, you know what, wow, thank you so much, we would divide it up, and this would be us breaking bread. This is all you get. You get a moment in life and you got to celebrate it. You got to hold on to it, and you got to have a great memory and a great experience.
Because as time passes, if you don't take advantage of these moments to create these celebrations, then the entire time of your incarceration is a void in your children's lives. They don't have any memories of celebration. They don't have any connecting points to you that they get on the outside. And so the anger, the frustration, the hurt, and the pain is magnified in their lives. So if you really, really, really want to see healing occur in your family, then you have got to start celebrating the small things with your family. And those small achievements are time together. The small achievements might be, oh, now you're 6 years old and 1 month. And so we're going to celebrate the fact that you're 6 years and 1 month today, and we have a cupcake, and we're going to sing happy birthday, or I'm going to draw you a picture together. Find those things that you can connect to your children and celebrate them and celebrate your lives together.
Life is too short, guys. I don't care how much time you're doing, man. It doesn't matter. It's not about you, Dad. You want to celebrate life? Grab it, man. Grab it. As long as you got breath, you got time. And if they come to see you, man, if you're able to build that bridge, man, love on them, and love on them. You are the CEO of your family's life, Chief Encouraging Officer. And you get an opportunity to teach your family, despite where you're at, we can still celebrate life.
You know, one of the quickest ways that you can destroy your family is to be miserable to be around. You know, we quickly see that couples that are struggling, the wife doesn't want to go, or the girlfriend doesn't want to go see her boyfriend, the father of her children, because he's miserable, and that she goes in and she says, it just sucks the life out of me. If you create a celebration experience and an atmosphere of celebration in life, I promise you, it will make sticking with you and finding a way to make your family stronger easier for your family.
You know, we're talking from experience, man. We're not talking out of a book. We're not talking out of a dream. We're talking about something we lived. You know, Kathy, I was I'm a blessed man.
And I am a blessed woman.
You know, Kathy and my sons, in the 15 years we did, Kathy came to visit me, not once, not twice, on an average of 3 times a month.
But that's because Ron created an atmosphere of celebration. He created a place of pouring into us to help us find the joy to sustain our family and bond our family through those difficult years. So as we close out this segment, we want to encourage you to find the opportunity to pour into your kids. Find the ways to celebrate your family right now where you are, so that as you transition home, it's become a habit. We'll be right back.
Completion of TYRO Dads is just the beginning of the opportunities available to you. As a TYRO Dad, you will be eligible to participate in workforce strengthening services to help prepare you for employment and open the doors to economic stability for you and your family. The workforce strengthening program starts with job ethics training. Once completed, you may be eligible to receive training to acquire your commercial driver's license while still inside prison. If getting a CDL is not for you, then there is also a welding training program you may be eligible for. As more programs are being added, there really is something for almost everyone.
If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO or just want to know more, contact your local Ridge Project facilitator or your caseworker.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Cathy Tiarina.
And I'm Ron Tiarina.
And today we're talking about celebrating life. We talked about the challenges that exist inside this prison and inside actually any type of hardship in learning how to celebrate life. But we also gave you some tips and tools on how to celebrate and how to find a way to celebrate life even in the midst of hardship. And then Ron and I really shared what it's like for your children and how important and vital it is that you find opportunities to create those celebrations and instill life and joy back into your family.
You know, gratitude is a key ingredient to celebrating life. Being grateful for the things that are in your life and the people that are around you. You know, one of the reasons why men go to prison is because we took everything for granted. And if we can remove ourselves from that type of thinking and start being grateful for every moment of our life with our wives, with our children, with our family, with our employers, and just life in general, and walking in a state of gratitude, you know, that's a secret ingredient to success. Living in a state of gratitude. And if you can do that, we can guarantee you success.
So as you begin to practice, because practice makes
permanent.
They begin to practice this inside. Through your transition and back home, you will instill a new culture in your family where despite any hardship or obstacle, your children will know it's okay to laugh, it's okay to be grateful, and to find places to celebrate. And that will help them build that fortitude to be able to become successful for the rest of their lives.
Check out how some of our TYROs celebrate with their families.
playing catch, basketball, laughing, and enjoying each other's company. These are all normal things on the outside, but many times are missed in a visitation setting. TYRO Dads brings the same fun experience to the inside through Family Days. As a TYRO Dad, you have the opportunity to participate in this fantastic event. Family Day is designed to allow fathers and families to engage with each other through activities designed to stimulate communication, learning, and play. Family Days will not only be a highlight for you, but for your children as well. The Ridge Project has strategically developed Family Day as an opportunity to help you connect with your child throughout your separation and help both of you develop skills to continue building your relationship when you return home.
If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO or just want to know more, contact your local Ridge Project facilitator or your caseworker.
Well, thanks for joining us today on TYRO TV as we talked about learning to celebrate your life even in the midst of hard circumstances.
So take every opportunity to have the attitude of gratitude, and we guarantee you success. Until next time, we are rooting for you.
I am a man of honor.
I am a man of integrity.
I am a man of faith. I am the antidote.
I am a man of discipline. I am a leader.
I am strong.
I am a man worth following.
I am a TYRO.